When do we actually get to start flying the Pegasi instead of just riding them like normal horses? Chloe said boldly, putting her hands on her hips as I galloped around the arena on Clifftop, the short and stubborn mountain Pegasus. Miss Lilac, the teacher of the flying boot camp, shot a dirty look at her. You need to know how to gallop before actually flying. Actually, I didn't want to ride in normal Pegasi. I wanted to ride Store. Store was a flying tiger with brilliant hazel eyes. Her ears seemed to pick up every sound, and her nose seemed to smell every smell. Her teeth and claws were extremely sharp and could make a seasoned warrior with a shield and sword run for his life. Store's legs are long, and she could run faster than a swift cheetah hunting a herd of speedy gazelles. Her striped fur was sleek and glossy, like a smooth river of lava with paths of obsidian crossing over it. Her tail trailed out behind her when she zoomed through the skies, even faster than how she was on the ground. But Store's wings seemed like the most beautiful thing in the kingdom of Freeland. They seemed to spread out as wide as a river. The feathers on them were full and lush, and it seemed as if none of them had ever fallen out. They, the wings blew backwards in the wind as Thor sped through the air, making the flying tiger even faster. They were even more beautiful than the wings of the deer. Focus! Miss Livak's yelling voice cut into my thoughts like a sharp rock. I sighed. I would never get to ride Thor. She was kept in the grand stables in the great palace. She was fed the best food and never taken out to battle, even allowed to go off the castle properties, even though Thor was built for battle. I'd only seen her once when me and my family had visited the castle so that my father, who was a messenger, could drop off a message, and we had been fortunate enough to see Thor at least someday to ride an actual field Pegasus or river Pegasus or cloud Pegasus, but they're so rare that I'll probably never get to ride one. Maybe I'll even get to ride a unicorn someday. I thought as I jumped over a high hurdle. Mountain Pegasi were known for not being able to fly nearly as fast as the three other kinds of Pegasi. They were also known for being stubborn, and Clifftop was definitely stubborn. Leah, do a cloverleaf, Miss Lilac yelled. When I tried to turn Clifftop to the left to do a cloverleaf, he yanked his head the other way. I tried to turn him a little more gently, but instead of galloping to the left, he slowed down to a trot. When I clicked my tongue and moved the saddle back and forth to tell him to go faster, instead of galloping, Clifftop halted. You can take a break, Miss Lilac said in a growly voice. Sighing with relief, I dismounted and led Clifftop to the side of the arena. I was in the lower canopy school of Pegasus and Unicorn riding, which was owned by a prince from the royal family. I was taking a 4-week overnight boot camp, but even though I was on my 3rd week, I was still just riding on the ground. But that night, I was planning to sneak out from my tiny dorm, find a Pegasus, and somehow teach myself how to get that Pegasus to fly and fly around the castle grounds, and maybe see Soar if I was lucky. It was a crazy idea, but I had been planning it for a week. I had told my 2 best friends, Kaylee and Lydia, about my idea, and they had decided to join me. But little did I know about the things that would happen that night. Carrying a heavy saddle and a bridle in my arms, I walked through the stable. I paused as a river Pegasus stuck her brown, glossy head out of a stall. She whinnied and pawed the ground. This one looks good. I walked towards the Pegasus's stall and read the name tag on the door, which read Wave. I said Wave a carrot and opened her door. Are you sure? She looks pretty big, and she's a water Pegasus, Kaylee said suspiciously. You know how much she hates swimming. Kaylee was leading a field Pegasus, and Lydia had decided to ride a tame-looking unicorn. I shrugged. It's not like she'll dive into a river. I started tacking Wave, tying her to the wall with a rope. When she was tacked, I leaped onto her back.
Wow, this was a really interesting take on Pegasi. I like how you have the different kinds, the river ones, the mountain ones, and then this overwhelming desire to ride this one, Soar, who's especially majestic, and the descriptions built for battle, feathers that look like they had never fallen out, the wings are the most beautiful thing in the kingdom, and how it moves, running faster than a swift cheetah, speeding through the air. Um, so I really liked the all of the description of physical characteristics and movement, and the dynamic that of this intense desire to interact with these beings and ride them. So really well done. And I also like that there's a camp where people are trained to do this. I thought that was really fun. Great job.
Yeah, not much like to add. I mean, I'm just really impressed with we're just sort of there um, in this writing place with these creatures. It just felt so natural, brilliantly imagined. And I guess I really was struck. I like the description of the wings actually when you're talking about them towards the beginning. Really beautiful, very well done.